In case you guys were watching in the fall, you saw that Herod was like my best fall fragrance. Now let's roll another PDM that is best for winter.
I finally found what I'm missing, and now you got all my attention. Driving me wild, got me wishing that you were all mine. You're irresistible, so refreshing. You're irresistible. Tell the essence. Can feel your energy all over me. Close my eyes and I breathe in. You're irresistible.
Welcome back to Carolina Fragrance Reviews. I'm your host Cam. Make sure that you're subscribed, activate that notifications bell, and follow us on Instagram at cam.byrd. Make sure that you show your support of CFR by supporting us by going and buying some of our merch. Our link is down below. And if you'd like to be featured on the channel and pushed on Instagram, make sure that you submit your picture just like our friend Jeremy did here, and we will put your IG handle on there. You'll be featured on the channel and on Instagram. For those of you who have been with us for a while, y'all know that I am a bit of a PDM fanboy, and I'm okay with that. Parfums de Marly has actually pushed the boundaries and made like a niche house fragrance more mainstream, like a designer brand like Christian Dior or Chanel, something like that. And they've really done a good job of making mass appealing fragrances. The only niche brand that I can think of that has actually, pushed like very mass appealing fragrances, well received and, loved by lots and lots of people, even if they don't really dive deep into the niche realm, is Creed. So I would say that, I might get a little flack for putting Creed and PDM beside each other.
29 and a 10.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to give us a winner. You've got to get the tiebreaker rolling, homie. All right, hang on to that. Let's spray you a fresh one of the Leighton. And you're gonna have to give us one decision here because our listeners need to know which one is the ultimate date night fragrance. But they actually have some of the same thoughts as far as making their fragrances more mass appealing. And today is no exception. I've had a lot of people in the comments actually asking me about how I feel about Carlisle. Carlisle is actually a fragrance that I have talked about before, but it was actually like last winter. I haven't done a really good job of like bringing it in any of the lists or whatever. I did do it for the fall lineup of Parfums de Marly, it's like fall and winter. And I just spoke briefly about this as well. I think it had like 7 other fragrances. I think put 8 fragrances all together. But Carlisle is actually like my winter jam, without a question. This has actually been compared to like an apple pie. When people see, some of the notes in here, especially the patchouli, a lot of people are a little bit, leery when they hear about, like a loud fragrance and one of the dominant notes is patchouli. Good news, the patchouli in this is very palatable. It doesn't have like the dirty, gritty, earthy patchoulis that some fragrances do that, can come off like, I don't know, or something that you might smell at a Grateful Dead concert. Carlisle is classified as an Oriental spicy, and on the opening, it definitely opens up with some really nice spice. There is patchouli. Now I know that patchouli is listed as one of the base notes, but it's actually one of the base notes that you get in the opening. But like I said, it is not that gritty, earthy, dirty patchouli that some fragrances have, even though I do like some fragrances that are like that. This one actually has some green apple and nutmeg mixed with that patchouli in the opening. Then about 15-20 minutes in, it starts kind of, dialing down a little bit because it does open very loud. It projects very loud. Then it starts to dry down. It starts to get, like really gourmandish sweet, like that apple pie like I was talking about. Then it has some really nice sweet tonka and vanilla that's just still mixed where you're still picking up those hints of green apple in there and nutmeg. It is just such a delicious fragrance. The notes for Carlisle are green apple, nutmeg, tonka bean, osmanthus, rose, patchouli, vanilla, and a papanax. Now, although this fragrance does have some florals listed like rose and osmanthus, I don't really get the florals in here. And actually, like on Fragrantica, I think, you know, like when I was looking last year, I remembered that it actually said that it was like a sweet floral or something like that. If you look back in our archives, you'll actually see me talk, you know, I was actually just saying that it's classified as that because I was going off of Fragrantica. Now, not to like just be totally bashing Fragrantica because it is basically the Wikipedia of the fragrance world, but sometimes they get it wrong. And when they get it wrong, it's completely wrong. And all the information on Carlisle is still wrong. If you look back, you'll see me say something crazy. I don't even remember. I may have said it had like caramel and dandelions, whatever it says on Fragrantica, that's what I was doing. But I also have mentioned before how like this can be like a really intrusive fragrance. I did get beat up a little bit in the comments for saying that. So just to clarify, if you overspray this fragrance in a confined area, that is when this fragrance can be a little bit too loud. This is an extremely mass appealing fragrance. Easy to wear, especially in the cold weather. This is going to project exactly the way you want it to in the cold weather. It's warm, sexy, flirty, cozy, thick. I mean, it's like when you spray it, it's just like the presence is there. When I previously spoke about Carlisle being so loud and thick and rich and everything, I actually was talking about the first time that I smelled it on my brother, and I was like, jeepers creepers, dude, you know, like that's just like way too much. But he had this insane scent trail that was just floating behind him, but he had just like heavily doused in this. And it smells so good, you know, like it's easy to overspray this fragrance, but understand that it's very thick, very heavy, just like a PDM bottle. You could actually knock somebody out with that. And if you overspray this fragrance, you can knock them out. But really, you could probably get away with maybe 4, maybe 5 sprays if you're out in the cold. If you're in a confined space, if you're in an office space, if you're like in closed quarters, go a little bit easier on the application. If you're hanging out with your boys, if you want to make that statement, hanging out like a club, I think this would probably even be like an attention-grabbing clubbing fragrance. I don't think I've heard anybody say that before, but now that people are kind of reinventing the wheel on what they're wearing out to clubbing, I think, you know, like if I was still like going out clubbing and stuff, I would definitely grab this to go clubbing. If you guys are wondering where you can pick up Carlisle or any other Parfums de Marly fragrances, go to www.crystalfragrance.com. Crystal Fragrance has a large assortment of other niche and indie brands as well. And not only that, she's a very caring person and has excellent customer service and really cares about her customers. This is not a sponsored or paid ad for Crystal Fragrance. I just wanted to show her a little bit of love and appreciation for just being a good friend to Carolina Fragrance Reviews. So if you're looking for that thick, rich, sweet, sexy date night or clubbing or chilling with your homies fragrance in the wintertime, you definitely need to at least sample Carlisle. Now, if you've got the coin to drop on a full bottle of Carlisle, by all means, go ahead, but I do always recommend sample first. There's no sense in dropping a lot of money on a fragrance that you're unsure of. So you can buy samples at Crystal Fragrance. There are lots of places to pick up samples. Please, please, please sample before you buy. If you found today's content to be of value, please share with a friend. And in closing, be disruptive, wear what you want, when you want, have fun. Make sure that you're subscribed to Carolina Fragrance Reviews, activate that notifications bell, smash that like button, leave us some comments down below. We'll see you next time on Carolina Fragrance Reviews.